kids. It is me, Pastor Rachel. I am so excited to be here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a situation where you expected one thing to happen, but things happened a completely different way? See, moments like that happen for me all the time, but I feel like they happen way more when I'm on vacation. You know, you go to a new place and you don't expect certain things to happen. And well, that definitely happened to me on a road trip I went on 4 years ago. I went on a road trip to Niagara Falls, and it was so fun. My sisters and I, we got to go ziplining next to the falls. We got to go on a boat tour. We got to see the American side and the Canada side. It was so fun and so cool. But there was a moment that happened that we definitely weren't expecting. You see, on the drive home, we were driving through Chicago, and if any of you have ever been on a road trip through Chicago, you might know that there's a lot of traffic. And so my sisters and I were sitting in the car, we're waiting. It's stop and go traffic. And we're not too worried about anything. You know, it's not the end of the world. We just have to sit through it and get through it. And we expected we would get out on the other side just fine. Well, all of a sudden, we're eating more snacks and drinking more water and waiting to get out of Chicago. And one of my sisters says, I have to go to the bathroom. So we looked at her, we looked at our dad, and our dad said, "We are not getting off the highway. You have to wait." So we waited 5 minutes, we waited 10 minutes, we waited 20 minutes, and then my sister says again, "I have to go to the bathroom." And our dad says, "We're not getting off the highway in Chicago. It'll take way too long to get back on. You have to wait." My dad expected her to wait. And so we wait another 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and it keeps going back and forth with, "I have to go to the bathroom," and "No, you need to wait," until all of a sudden, I smelled something kind of funky in the car. And so I looked over at my sister and I said, "Do you still need to go to the bathroom?" And she looks at me and she says, "Not anymore." That's right. My sister pooped her pants in the middle of Chicago traffic. And what's even worse is even after she did it and the smell was all over the place, our dad still would not get off the highway and made us wait until we got out of Chicago. So we rolled all the windows down. We made signs asking for help because it was so horrible. And I think it's safe to say we all really expected that road trip to go differently than it did. Sometimes we expect something to be one way and it becomes a completely other way. But in our story today, we're going to take a look and see how sometimes God does that on purpose. Sometimes God takes the things that we expect might happen and He changes them to make them something that's actually better. So let's go ahead and let's take a look.
Hi, I'm here in Pastor Rachel's office, but everything is wrong. You see, the floor is on the ceiling, and the ceiling is on the floor. The chair is upside down. The door is upside down. Even you are upside down. I do not know how this whole mess happened. How is everything upside down? Wait a second. Is the world upside down? Or am I upside down? Wait. Oh. I was upside down on the back of this chair the whole time. I'm so funny. You know what, though? I figured it out, and that means that I am a genius.
I don't know if genius is the word I would use for Rusty, but I guess he's right that sometimes it feels like our whole world is upside down. And in today's story, we're going to talk about how God did something that was completely upside down from what people expected in this story. So if you remember from last week, we talked about Isaac and his wife, Rebecca. Rebecca just moved from a faraway land to come marry Isaac, and after they were married, they decided they wanted to have a baby. But God turned their world upside down for the first time when Rebecca found out that she wasn't just having one baby, but she was having two twins. That is crazy. And when Rebecca was praying for her twins, God told her something that really turned a lot of things upside down. God told her that she was going to have these two babies, an older and a younger, but that the older one, well, that both of them would actually be leaders of a nation, but the older one would serve the younger one. And maybe for us that doesn't seem too crazy, but in their culture, way back in this time in the Bible, it was such an important thing. The oldest son had something called a birthright. And that meant that when his father died, he would be the one who got all the land, all the money, all of the animals, and the younger would always, always, always serve the older. That's just how it was. That's how their culture worked. And so the idea of the older one serving the younger one turned things upside down. No one would believe that would happen except for Rebecca. She knew that God had a plan. And so she had her babies, and the older one was named Esau, and the younger one was named Jacob. Now Isaac, he lived his life how the culture would expect him to. His older son Esau was the son that he took out to go do work with him. He gave Esau a birthright. That was how it worked. But Rebecca knew that Jacob would be the one who would be on top. And one day, something kind of crazy happened. You see, Esau was out with his dad Isaac working all day long, and he came home, but when he came home, he decided to be a little bit of a drama queen. He came home and he said, "Oh, little brother Jacob, I'm so tired. It smells like you made some soup for me, so I need soup right now." And Jacob knew that this was an opportunity, and Jacob said, "You know what, Esau? If you want some soup, then you need to give me your birthright." Okay, Kingdom Kids, let's take a second to think about that. That's ridiculous. Soup is something you can get anywhere, all the time. Whenever you're hungry, you can have soup. But a birthright is something that's only given to specific people. And it basically means that you'll have everything that your parents once had and that you'll be taken care of for the rest of your life. So the idea of trading soup for a birthright was ridiculous. But Esau was being such a drama king that he decided that he would give his birthright up for a bowl of soup. And so Jacob, the younger brother, had the birthright. And so after that day, it wasn't Jacob who served Esau, but it was Esau who served Jacob. And God used a really strange situation to turn everything upside down. I mean, think about it. That is not a normal situation. That's kind of weird that they traded a birthright for a bowl of soup. But that just goes to show us that sometimes when God does things in our lives, he does things in a way that we would never expect, in a way that we would never think of or try to do on our own. But we can trust that God's way is good, and that when those weird things happen that turn our lives upside down, that God has a plan for it, and he can be trusted. And that is our starting line truth today. God turns our world upside down. I want you all to say that with me. God turns our world upside down. He really does. With Jacob and Esau, he turned it upside down so that the older was serving the younger. With my road trip, he gave us a stinky ride through Chicago so that we could appreciate the rest of the trip. How is God trying to turn your life upside down right now? I want you to think about it. And then I want you to do our challenges for today. Our first challenge is to read Genesis chapter 25, verses 19 through 34. And as always, make sure you ask your family questions so that they can help you understand anything that you don't. And then I want you to see how long you can hang upside down for on the monkey bars or something else. And I want you to maybe even do a competition with your friends or your siblings and see who can hang upside down for the longest. And remember that God turns our world upside down. All right, Kingdom Kids, we've only got a couple of these summer experiences left, so I'm super excited. But remember to come to church on Sunday, starting on September 6th. We will have a kids service at 10:30. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you tell your parents to be there. All right, I'll see you later. Bye, Kingdom Kids.